Now it's okay? Now it's okay to have it here? And at the end? Okay.
Fresh batteries, so there's no problems.
Good idea.
It'll be fabulous.
Huh? Erev Tov, everybody. We're going to begin Mariv. We have our weekly Sidurim. If you don't have a Sidur, they're out on the counter. Somebody can either hand it to you or you can get up and give everybody in your row a Sidur. And we are on page 137. If you can rise, please do so. והוא רחום יכפר עוון ולא ישחית, וירבה להשיב אפו ולא יאיר כל חמתו. אדוני הושיע מלך יעננו ויום קורנו, ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מעריב ערבים בחוכמה פותח שאולים. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני Ha'ma'ariv aravim. You may be seated. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael ahavta Torah mitzvot u'kiyum mishpatim. V'avatcha al tasir mimenu li'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך והיה אם שמוע תשמעו מצוותי אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם היום לבוא. ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר בני ישראל אמרת עליהם ויעשו להם ציצית הכנפי וידיהם לתורתם ולנוע ציצית הכנף תלם יעלכם ציצית ירדם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת middle 139 ואמונה כל טובכם אלינו ואדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו טוב ואנחנו ישראל עמו פריד מלחמה ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך בועלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בו קיים לפני משה זה אלי אנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי יפוד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We're on page 40 for the beautiful Hashkivenu prayer, the Hashkivenu prayer that we say only at night, which asks for us to lie down in peace and to wake up again in peace and in life. And I can't help but thinking that people might have said this on October 6th in Israel when they went to sleep, and then waking up October 7th at 6:29 a.m. was a whole different story. So as we say the Hashkivenu, we think about going to sleep in peace and that everyone should be waking up in peace. Hopefully, b'mehera v'yameinu, speedily in our days. Top of 140. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'bidenu malkeinu l'chaim v'osanu sukat shamach v'tekne mitzam shalom shemlecha v'yakim b'yadinu v'azir b'yadinu yideva v'chira v'rabba ושמוצאתנו ובואנו לחיים לשלום מעתה ועד עולם ברוך אתה אדוני שומר עמו ישראל לעד ברוך אדוני לעולם אמן ואמן ברוך אדוני מציון שכן שלהם הללויה ברוך אדוני לעולם ישראל כי גדול ברוך אדוני ביום ברוך אדוני בלילה ברוך אדוני ברוך אדוני ממנו כי המלכות שלך היא ולעולמי תמלוך בכבוד כי אין לנו מלך אלא אתה ברוך אתה אדוני המלך בכבודו תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ועל כל מעשיו יתגדל ויקרש מרבה ביעמד דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חון ובימי חון ובחיי תוך בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן יהי שמירה במבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילא ולעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ביולמה וימרו. Amen. Please rise if you're able for the silent Amidah, which runs from 142b through 148. And please remember to add those passages listed and indicated for between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וימכון ובחייתך בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילא ולעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ביולמה ואמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותון ובאותון דכל ישראל קודם אבו ונדיבי שמי ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמי וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Page 150 עלינו. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שנוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרא בשמיים ממלך בינת וזאת בגופים מרמים עולמנו ואינו. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad. We turn to page 92 for Psalm 27, which we recite during this season. LeDavid Adonai Revi Shemi Miramel. Chad sha'alti meit Adonai otav v'kesh yitivot. לולי המתי לראות בטוב אדוני בארץ חיים, קווה אל אדוני וחזק ויאמץ ליבך וקווה אל אדוני.
This evening marks the fifth day of the month of Tishrei, and on that day in the Hebrew calendar, we as a community observe the yurtzeits of William Haffey, Clara Loftman, Anna Shalansky, Albert Irving Sherman, and Asna Superstein. Is anyone else observing a yurtzeit for this day, the 5th of Tishrei? I'm sorry, you're right. And this, we also observe the yurtzeits of Rhoda Andrews, David Henry Burstein, Rivka Edelman, Rabbi Sam Labinger, Arlene Schwartz, and Edith Seehoff. Is anyone else observing a yurtzeit for this day in the Hebrew calendar? And then, of course, our hearts are obviously still broken from a year ago as we mark this first yurtzeit of a date that is not a Hebrew date, but will be forever remembered as October 7th in our people's history. Why don't we all please rise? Mourner's Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah bi'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Okay, we can all be seated. We are going to begin our memorial program in another 10 minutes or so. So what we'd like to do is to, first of all, thank you for being here and just encourage you to say hello to one another, share on such a dark day, maybe share a source of light. We'll begin at 7:30, the memorial service. I want to thank you all for being here for Minyan.
Can I ask, maybe some of you can take the Sidurim and put them back on the counter. And we have some booklets that are going to be handed out. We're going to give some to the people at the door to hand out to those who are coming in and out. And if you didn't get a sticker, there's stickers at the door as well.
So these stickers are reusable. They're great for reusable water bottles, and they're printed by the World Zionist Organization. So they're being printed worldwide. So you can put them on your clothing, but also consider putting them on something more permanent.
השעות העייפות שלא נותנות לזמן לרוץ, הרגליים הכבדות שלא מוצאות סיבה ללכת, הימים והלילות כמו הפנים שבתמונות, הכל עוצר מלכת כשאתה לא כאן. מתעוררת מחלום ומרגישה אותך קרוב, ואז קוראת לך מתוך הלילה, תחזור, תחזור היום. כל כך רציתי שתגיע, הלוואי תבוא בלי להודיע עוד היום. אני מגדל של אור, ממרחקים ששוב תופיע, הלוואי תבוא בלי להודיע עוד היום. השעות העייפות שלא נותנות לזמן לרוץ, הרגליים הכבדות שלא מוצאות סיבה ללכת, הימים והלילות כמו הפנים שבתמונות, הכל עוצר מלכת כשאתה לא כאן. ומתעוררת מחלום ומרגישה אותך קרוב, ואז קוראת לך מתוך הלילה, תחזור, תחזור היום. כל כך רציתי שתגיע, הלוואי תבוא בלי להודיע עוד היום. אני מגדל של אור, ממרחקים ששוב תופיע, הלוואי תבוא בלי להודיע עוד היום. הלוואי תבוא בלי להודיע עוד היום. אני מגדל של אור, ממרחקים ששוב תופיע, הלוואי תבוא בלי להודיע עוד היום.
A few days ago in Tel Aviv, there was a candle vigil for those killed or taken hostage on October 7th. A huge sign said, "There are no words." I think that we all feel the same way. We are here to commemorate the dark day of October 7th. It will include music, readings, and prayer. But there really are no words. But in the Jerusalem Talmud from Rabbi Yirmiyah, we see a different path than words. Rabbi Yirmiyah omer ha'osek b'tzorchei tzibur ka'osek b'divrei Torah. Rabbi Yirmiyah said, "The one occupied with the needs of the community is like one who is occupied with words of the Torah." Rabbi Yirmiyah believed that serving the community was at the same level as learning the words and lessons of Torah. So that is our answer for tonight. We will experience beautiful music that matches our feelings. We will hear readings and teaching to touch our hearts and prayer to touch our souls. But the real message to all of us will be that when we emerge from here with poignant and meaningful words, we will internalize them as an impetus to be there for our community, for one another, near and far, in every way that we can. Rabbi Yirmiyah was right.
This is a poem written by Rabbi Karen Bender, and the way she describes it as a reprise of Yehuda Amichai's poem, The Diameter of the Bomb. The diameter of the massacres was the length of Israel and the depth of the universe. It stretched to every continent, college campuses and social media. It spread information and disinformation, twisting and distorting morality, and redefining madness. It wreaked havoc and wrecked lives in Israel, in kitchens and living rooms, in bedrooms and porches, in souls and hearts. The diameter of the visit was the length of Israel, the distance to California, and everyone and everywhere we will speak of it. The mission stretched our compassion and minds and challenged our faith in human nature. It struck us with awe in every cell of our being as we saw the resiliency of our people and as we strove together to answer the unspoken question, where shall we place all the pain? We were messengers and witnesses, representatives with wishes to help, and we did, and we will. The diameter of the hugs is the length of an Israeli flag and the width of a talit large enough to enwrap every Israeli who hurts right now, and therefore every Israeli with the comfort of our love, and with a strand of techelet turquoise in the tzitzit to remind us all that the morning will come and we will say the Shema someday with one voice.
The next song you can find in your booklets, Habaita. So the first song that we did, and another couple that we're going to be doing, are all post-October 7th songs. I mean, clearly, reading the text of Tachzor, it doesn't need any explanation. This song, Habaita, also doesn't need much explanation, except that it was written in the early 80s. And has become one of the songs that is sung during this past year because of what it says, Habaita, come home.
השוטים עלו בשביל ובגן.
רוח נאנח, את התריס פתח, ומכה בקיר הישן. כה קורא הביתה, הביתה, באה עת לחזור מן ההרים לשדות זרים, היום דועך ואין סימן.
הביתה, הביתה, רדת אור, לילות קרים, לילות מרים, קרבים עכשיו לחג, עד עלות השחר מתפללת לשלומך, שבויה באזיקי פחדים, אני שומעת צעדים. הביתה, הביתה, כי עוד לא ניתן כל מה שהובטח לנו מזמן.
זרים, היום דועך ואין סימן. הביתה, הביתה, כי עוד לא ניתן כל מה שהובטח לנו מזמן, כל מה שהובטח לנו מזמן. הביתה. So we're going to reset the stage for a moment because many of you have probably seen this video, but I couldn't not play the video that is of that song with 1,000 musicians playing and singing in Caesarea. This video came out probably November, December, and many of us have seen it many times. Matter of fact, I spoke to somebody who said, I can't watch that video. And I said, no, you don't understand. It's just a bunch of musicians in Caesarea. She said, oh, I know. I just can't watch it. The power of music, on the power of how they perform that music, I wanted to share it again this evening.
Like many of you, I've been to that amphitheater a dozen times. And that beautiful expression there, I think that that is what distinguishes us and our people. You saw Israelis, different generations, different ethnic compositions, Israelis with tattoos, Israelis with kippahs, Israelis with long hair, short hair, no hair. All in a celebration of hope for the restoration of life. This morning I had I got up a little extra early and I'm in charge of breakfast in the morning. And I put together the waffles and plated the waffles and put them out. But I also put out a yahrzeit candle in the middle of the table. And before sending my kids off to school, we did a little tekes, a little ceremony at home. We lit the yahrzeit candle. I know it's only supposed to be said with 10 people, but we broke the rules and we said Kaddish. And as I kissed my kids goodbye, and as they went into the carpool, just thinking about the ability to kiss my own kids and thinking about the 97 families that can't kiss their loved ones. We were supposed to hear from a father of one of the hostages. His name is Yehuda Cohen. And he canceled on us last minute because he first wanted to meet the mayor. The mayor agreed to have an audience with him. And now he's on a plane to New York where he's going to talk to the United Nations. And I just put those two pictures next to them, me kissing my kids and Yehuda Cohen doing whatever he could, meeting with whatever public official, whatever diplomat at whatever organization in an attempt to do anything, something to bring his son habayita, to bring his son home. So instead of Yehuda Cohen, we'll sing a little bit more, and we'll pray a little harder, and we'll think about how what we do can, in small measure, help bring those beautiful souls home from hell.
The song we're going to do now, on the next page in your song booklet here, you'll see a song with maybe a strange kind of title, The Party's Over. I would not have thought of doing this song until Elke sent me a text or WhatsApp or whatever it was of the following. There's a group in Israel called Kululam. I don't know if you've heard of them. Some of you are nodding. It's a group. It's really great fun. Israelis love to sing. They love to have shira b'tzibur, you know, like, shira b'tzibur.
Sing along.
Thank you. I'm asking the Israeli for the English translation. And Kululam does that in a really cool way. They teach everybody a song, and then they divide the audience up into 2 or 3 groups, and they teach them harmonies. And they did this recently with this song, HaChagiga Nigmeret, The Party's Over. And They did it specifically, I don't know exactly when, but Elke just sent it, and so I'm assuming it's relatively recent, and the beginning of the video says that it is during this time. And looking at the first verse, it's like, whatever. A little hard for me to read in this context, but really appropriate, especially the Pizmon. The Pizmon, I love the chorus. The chorus says, Lakum machar baboker im shir chadash balev. You get up in the morning with a new song in your heart. Lashir oto bechoach, to sing it with strength. Lashir oto bichev, and to sing it in pain. Lishmoa chalilim baruach hachufshit, to hear the flutes in the breeze, in the free breeze. Ulatchil mi bereshit, and to start all over again from the beginning. And that's what the people in Israel sort of need to do. And many of us, as we approach this anniversary, we need to pick up. Spoken to many people on kibbutzim, etc. They are starting over, planting those trees, trying to gather enough funds to continue to
live.
Put their house in order. And so for them and for all of us, we're going to sing HaChagiga Nigmeret. It's by Naomi Shemer, by the way. You know the famous Naomi Shemer. ולפעמים החגיגה נגמרת, כיבוי אורות, החצוצרה אומרת שלום לכינורות, אשמורת תיכונה נושקת לשלישית, לקום מחר בבוקר ולהתחיל מבראשית. לקום מחר בבוקר עם שיר חדש בלב, לשיר אותו בכוח, לשיר אותו בכיף, לשמוע חלילים ברוח החופשית ולהתחיל מבראשית.
גם אצלך החגיגה נגמרת, ובחצות הביתה את הדרך קשה לך למצוא. מתוך החשיכה אנחנו מבקשים לקום מחר בבוקר ולהתחיל מבראשית. לקום מחר בבוקר עם שיר חדש בלב, לשיר אותו בכוח, לשיר אותו בכיף, לשמוע חלילים ברוח החופשית ולהתחיל מבראשית. לקום מחר בבוקר עם שיר חדש בלב, לשיר אותו בכוח, לשיר אותו בכיף, לשמוע חלילים
So there is in the daily liturgy on Torah reading days, on Monday and Thursday, there is in the Siddur a paragraph. I think it's at the bottom of page 72 in the Siddur that we use for our daily minyan. And it goes by the name of the first word, Achenu. It's on the next page in your booklet. We do this all the time on Mondays and Thursdays in our minyan, and we thought it would be appropriate to do now. Just like Habaita and just like Tachzor, we are not only thinking of all of what happened on October 7th, but our hearts are so much with those who are not yet home. And so if you would together read with me the English of Achenu, and then I'm going to sing it, and if you know it, please join along with me. Together in the English. May the Holy One be merciful to our fellow Jews who wander over sea and land, who suffer oppression and imprisonment. May God soon bring them relief from distress and deliver them from darkness to light, from subjugation to redemption. And let us say, Amen. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanetunim betzara, betzara uveshivya, Haomdim ben bayam uven bayabasha. Hamakom yirachem, yirachem aleihem, v'yotziei mitzara lirvacha, umeafel aliora, umishibud ligula hashta ba'agala uvisman kariv.
Over the years, I've worked with a lot of rabbinic teams, and whenever there's an event and you have to address the speaker, the rabbis have to say something, I've always gone by the idea that we have thousands of years of text, we have expressions, we have culture. We don't have to coordinate it as rabbis because we'll never say the same thing twice. In other words, rabbis will never choose the very same words to say on a particular evening. That's not true of this evening, however. What Rabbi Alexander introduced so beautifully the evening with was what I was thinking of. The Hebrew expression, ein milim, there are no words. Ein milim, there are no words. When I've texted family and friends in Israel throughout this past year, when one thing or another occurred, and certainly on October 7th, most often we got that response saying, Milim, there are no words. And so I confronted the same problem that Rabbi Alexander did, which is, how do you add words for an event that no words can adequately describe? And so I turned to the words of Israeli poets who have penned some beautiful and gut-wrenching texts, holy words, They've written these over the past year. I was introduced to these texts by Rachel Korazim, who is sort of like a public intellectual in Israel. And I studied with her this summer. And so she introduced us to these texts, and I thought I'd share them with you, knowing that Ein Milim, there really are no words. I'm in the booklet that says, where it says poem translations except where noted, and the first poem is called Kaddish by Asaf Gor, who is a rather famous, actually, journalist in Israel, and he's also a poet. He writes for Yediot Achronot, and this was his poem. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, and no one came. Many thousands called him on Shabbat morning, crying his name out loud, begging him with tears just to come. But he ceased from all his work. No God came, and no God calmed. Only Satan celebrated uninterrupted, dancing between kibbutzim and the slaughter festival. And our correspondent goes on to report, all the while sobbing, saying there is a burnt baby, and there is an abducted baby, there is an orphaned baby, and there is a day-old baby still linked to his mother's body by the umbilical cord. He hadn't even managed to find out his name. What will be inscribed on that tiny headstone with a single date for birth and death? This is what the kibbutz looks like after Satan's visit, turning the broadcast back to the studio. Quiet now, they are shooting. They are also launching rockets. And there is no government. And there is no mercy. Just the screaming and the pictures that will never leave the mind. The 7th of October, 2023. This next poem is was written by Tal Shavit, who is an economist. He wrote this poem, which I think sort of embodied the spirit of many of the emotions that were going through Israel on those first days. The poem's called Good Day. I want to manage all the war rooms, mobilize all the supply chains. I want to take care of all the children, of all the single mothers and those who are gone. I want to turn myself into protective vests for all the fighters, become iron domes over the heads of all the girls, each and every one, to sustain all the families, the evacuated, the broken, the crushed, return those who were taken, bring back all that is gone. I want to collect all the donations and take them where they belong, to pass all the messages, to make all the sandwiches, to oversee all the efforts. But on a good day, I manage sometimes to breathe, sometimes to drink, sometimes to call loved ones. On a good day, I manage sometimes to cry. Adi Blechman's a poet. Adi Blechman Sofer is a poet, and she wrote these words about Kibbutz Be'eri. Soon winter will be here. Weeping clouds will water the earth, making red carpets grow, and the anemone will flower first. Yet no one will come to admire its beauty. The buttercup will bloom next, and there will be no festival. The poppy will flower last in silence, seen by none. The protected flowers had already been picked in the fall. This last poem that I selected, it resonated with me when I first saw it, because there's this constant communication between the government, home front commands, and they're constantly telling the citizens of Israel what they can and cannot do, and what safety measures to be taken when bombs are coming from this direction or from that direction. And then also I was just impacted by the need to converse. The need to converse just to exist and to live life after tragedy, but it's actually a custom, and I don't know how many of you know that, when you go into a Shiva home, you're not supposed to say hello, and you're not supposed to say goodbye. You don't go into the Shiva home and say, that's why the door is open. You're just supposed to go in. And so students often ask, well, then what are you supposed to say? And I said, you don't really have to say anything at all. You can just give them a hug. Because there is this reality that, how are you? You're in a Shiva home. I was thinking about those ideas when I encountered this poem by Lital Kaplan, Homefront Commands New Regulations for Small Talk. I'm going to weave in the Hebrew, part of the Hebrew, so you'll hear the alliteration that the poet plays with. What's up? Manishma. Canceled. Instead use what's shaken up. Manishmat. What's beaten up. Manishbar. What's blown up. Manishar. What's going on? Ma koreh? Banned. Alternatives? What's breaking down? Ma kores. What's gone? What's forever gone? Ma nikbar. Instead of the rude, how are you? Ma shlomcha. We must frown in the face of our friend and ask, how were you? Ma milchamtcha. And instead of the standard response, forbidden by strict veto power, I'm fine, in fact, etzli hakol beseder, it's required to say, everything's cracked, hakol besedek. And the truthful ones will answer, everything is shattered, hakol beshever, everything is shattered, hakol beshever.
There's so much poetry and there's so many songs. The next song we're going to do really definitely changes up the mood, but what it does is it sort of provides an answer as to who is it who is helping everyone in this situation, who's out there right now, protecting us in the South, in the North, in the East, and elsewhere. And this is called Giborei Al. So I didn't know that the words Giborei Al meant superheroes, but that's what it means. If you think about it, Giborim are heroes, and Al, Me'al, like up above. So superheroes, okay? And who are the superheroes? Everybody in Eretz Yisrael who, all of a sudden, you could be in the middle of a soccer game, you can be in the middle of anything else, you can be in the middle of your learning, your job. When you get the call, you become a chayal, you become a soldier. In every Israeli, almost, that's another discussion, there is a hidden soldier. And this song, in very quick Hebrew, we'll see how I do, describes, and I encourage you to look at the English translation, describes who does what. So for example, at the beginning, the Bible teacher serves in Givati, that's one of the army brigades. The language teacher's in intelligence. The neighbor upstairs works in construction, but he's already been in reserves for a month. The lawyer is a kambatzit, some sort of operations manager in the army working shifts in the military division. Her brother, a senior high-tech guy, now he's a sniper on the rooftops in the Strip. Everybody has their daily life, and then they go home, and they pull out this little box from under their bed, and they put on their uniform, and they go to their unit when they're called. Those are our superheroes. Those are our superheroes in Israel. אז המורה לתנ"ך בגבעתי, המורה ללשון מודיעין, השכן מלמעלה קבלן עבודות, אבל חודש כבר במילואים. עורכת הדין היא קמב"צית, עושה משמרות באוגדה. אחיה היא הייטק בכיר, עכשיו הוא צלף על גגות ברצועה. מנהלת הסניף הקשוחה של הבנק היא סמג"ד ביהודה ושומרון. דורון הוא בעל חנות צעצועים, עכשיו הוא מ"פ בשריון. והעמדי שלנו כפרה, שלרוב מזמר בקיסריה, הוא לוחם הנדסה מתאושש בגבורה, אחרי שנפצע בלב עזה. נכון כולם נראים רגילים, אבל אנחנו עם של גיבורי על. וכל אחד תמיד מסתתר חייו, מוכן להציל את העולם.
יש נהג אוטובוס של גן, זה שתמיד עומד בזמן. הוא עכשיו מפקד סוללת תותחנים בדרום ליד ניר-עם. יש סטודנט בטכניון באמצע תואר ראשון, הוא סרן במיל בעוצבת הגליל, כבר חודש בגבול הצפון. יש פה דוגמנית פרמדיקית, יש פה חשמלאי שהוא מגיסט, יש את יוני נגן סקסופון מחונן שהוא קודם כל מטכליסט. יש לכולם ארון נסתר או ארגז גדול מאובזר, יש פה סט של מדים וגלימת מילואים מוכנות תמיד לאתגר.
נכון כולם נראים רגילים, אבל אנחנו עם של גיבורי על. וכל העולם.
וזה לא משנה אם באמצע החיים או באמצע משחק כדורגל,
כולם יעזבו את הכל בשנייה אם יקרא להם הדגל.
פה זה לא יקום מקביל או מציאות של מוות. זה הסיפור שלנו, עם ישראל, זה הסיפור שלנו. נכון כולם נראים רגילים, אבל אנחנו עם של גיבורי עם. בכל אחד תמיד מסתתר חייל, מוכן להציל את העולם.
Hamakom, God of presence, comfort us in our abiding grief on this painful yard site for the countless atrocities of that terrible day and for all the death and pain that has followed in its wake. Tzol Yisrael, Rock of Israel, grant us solid ground in the midst of this turmoil. Zokef Kefufim, raiser up of the humbled, support us to rise from paralysis into resolve. Rofei Leshvorei Lev, healer of broken hearts, walk with us on the path from grief toward repair. Eyeh Asher Eyeh, God of potential, remind us there is life and possibility beyond our pain. Noten Layayev Koach, giver of strength to the weary, grant our people access to ancestral resilience in the face of adversity. Yotzei Or, creator of light, help all still recovering from trauma to find their ways to your light. Pokeach Ivrim, God who opens the eyes of the blind, may those who refuse to see the brutality of that day turn their gaze to the testimonies of its victims. Matir Asurim, redeemer of captives, bring the hostages home safely and soon. Shomer Yisrael, protector of Israel, watch over the people and land of Israel and those who guard them. Meon Bador Vador, refuge in every generation, let every displaced person go home again in safety and security. Rodef Shalom, pursuer of peace, restore our hope in the possibility of finding peace. El Malay Rachamim, God full of mercy, awaken us to know we are bound up in each other's well-being.
Please rise.
El male rachamim, shochen bameromim, hametzeh menucha nechona al kanfei hashechina. B'ma'alot kedoshim, tehorim vegiborim, כזוהר הרקיע מאירים ומזהירים לנשמות הקדושים אזרחי ישראל אנשים, נשים וטף, שנהרגו, שנרצחו, שנשרפו, שנטבחו בידי מרצחי המחבלים בני העוולה, ומסרו נפשם על קידוש השם, בהתקפה האכזרית על יישובי מדינת ישראל.
בארי, שדרות, כפר עזה, נחל עוז, רעים, נירים, מגין, סופה, ניר יצחק, ניר עוז, כרם שלום, אופקים, עין השלושה, מושב יכיני, נתיב העשרה, חולית, פסטיבל נובה.
ולנשמות חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, שוטרי משטרת ישראל ואנשי כוחות הביטחון שמסרו נפשם על קידוש השם ונפלו מות גיבורים בקרבות על הגנת העם והארץ. בעבור שאנו מתפללים לעילוי נשמותיהם, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתם. לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמותיהם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותם, ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימין. ונאמר Amen.
Baal Harachamim, Master of Compassion, shelter them in the shadow of your wings forever. Bind their souls in the bond of everlasting life. The Lord is their heritage. May they rest in peace, and may they receive their reward at the end of days. And let us all say,
Amen.
please remain standing, and for those of you who are moved to recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish, please recite with me. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba bi'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivarach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yit barach ve'yish tabach ve'yit pa'ar ve'yit romam ve'yit naseh ve'yit hadar ve'yit taleh ve'yit halal Shemei Dekudisha Barichu, Le'ela, Le'ela, Mikol Birchata Vishirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damiran Bialma Vimru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, Vimru, Amen. Ose Shalom Bimromav, Huya Ase Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Vimru, Amen. And may the memories of all of those who perished on October 7th, may their memories be for blessing. And let us all say, Amen. Amen. We'd like to now ask that each of us spend a moment in silence in honor of all of the victims of October 7th and commemorating the tremendous tragedy that befell us all.
Well, there is a sort of a new theme song in Israel. It's the last song in your booklet, Am Yisrael Chai. It's got a lot more words than the Am Yisrael Chai we all grew up with. It really It expresses our hope. And I think it speaks volumes for those living in Israel who have made this their hymnon, their theme song, that there has to be hope and there has to be something to work towards, and that Am Yisrael Chai, and that the people of Israel does live. And so I'm sure many of you have heard this before. We actually did this on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. And so please, if you can, at least on the chorus, please do join us in song. בקרוב תזרח השמש, נדע ימים יפים מאלה, הלב נלחם בדאגות. כולם יחזרו הביתה, נחכה להם למטה, הלוואי נדע בשורות טובות.
עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד, אפילו כשקשה לראות. כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא בודד, כשישרפו המלחמות.
עם ישראל חי נחלתנו, לא תיפול כעת רוחנו, מסביב ברזל של חרבות. ויונה תפרוס כנפיים, התקווה בת שנות 2000, עוד נצא לשיר ברחובות.
עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד,
אפילו שקשה לראות. כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא מודה, שישרפו המלחמות. עם ישראל חי, אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים. עם ישראל חי, Erev Tov.
I have at least one friend moved in Kitchen for the longest time. I mean, we don't talk. His name is Bob Bain. I don't know if you know Bob Bain. He was in it. But he was also a guitar player. Not him, but the same name. Bob Bain. Yeah. Was a jazz guitar player. No worries. Anyway, this guy was in the business, and he moved from Emerald to Israel with his family. And we lost touch. I couldn't reach him for like 6 months.